you are going to make us a decadent dish. It's called kheer. So I cannot wait to learn more about this because you love it. You would eat it by the potful if you could. What is it?
I'd go into the fridge and use my... No. It's a dish that I grew up eating. It is a sweet rice pudding, and it's very simple to make. And a beautiful thing about this dish is that you can really go ahead and make it your own at home. So for garnishes, I have toasted, crushed pistachio. Then I have slivered almonds, untoasted, golden raisins.
Yep.
Candied pecans.
That's
I think
my guy,
you're a
right
fan
there.
of that. Cashews, and then there's some whole spices that I'm going to toast off now.
Okay, nice. Now
Okay.
let's start.
Now that that tour is complete, we're
Thank
starting
you.
with this
I enjoyed it.
lovely ingredient, which is ghee. This is a clarified butter, but unlike many clarified butters that myself I trained with and a lot of chefs may use or a lot of home cooks may use at home, this has caramelized milk solids in it, which gives it a
Okay.
very nutty flavor. It's also very earthy, but of course it's buttery.
It's
and that's what I love.
delicious.
So I'm going to start by adding in probably a couple teaspoons, and right away my pan is preheated.
Okay.
So now that the ghee is now melted and it's taking on some heat, I can come in with some whole spices. So cinnamon can be really strong. This is a big piece, but for the amount that I'm making, this will be good. So I
Okay.
nestle that piece in there, and I'm going to come in with some green cardamom, which is just
Nice.
a beautiful flavor, and I have some black here too. One way to get the flavor out of this is just to crush it. So you could take it, and I can just, like you break garlic, you
Yep.
can lean on it. So I can just take it and give it a lean, and I can hear it crack, and then I can add it in to the pan. Now, I don't want this to burn, so I'm just going to turn up the heat a little bit because I do want to hear it sizzle a bit,
Yeah.
but you don't want to burn the whole spices. If we do, then we need to start over. Similar to
Yeah.
any dish that you're making, when toasting off spices, you need to be very mindful of what's happening.
Oh, is that what you do when you burn stuff? You start over, huh?
Got to. It depends who you're serving. If you don't like the person, then serve it.
I will take that down as a note.
Yeah,
The other
exactly.
thing I want to know is why are you toasting the whole spices? Like, what does that do?
There are inherent flavors and essentially oils in these whole spices, whether it's
Okay.
clove or star anise or cinnamon and cardamom. There's flavor that's going to come out. I'm taking an already incredible ingredient and I'm taking it now to a new level. And I think as
Yeah.
a cook, as someone who takes a lot of pride in cooking and what they do, it's our job to find these ingredients and make the most out of them.
Do you hear that?
We're hearing a sizzle, we're hearing
Yeah.
a toasting. So at this point, I want to toast this off for several minutes.
Okay.
Now what I'm going to do is I have basmati rice here. We're toasting the rice for the same reason we're toasting the spices, the same reason you'd want to toast quinoa or any other grains.
More flavor.
More flavor. Same with risotto. You toast the rice before, and essentially this is like a version of that in a way. I mean, we're toasting off rice, we're adding liquid to it. It's not stock, there's no onions
Yeah.
or garlic, but it's just another way of wrapping our heads around what this dish is if we're not familiar with it.
And it's so this is going to be sweet. It's almost like a sweet rice pudding, as you said.
That's exactly it.
Really good stuff in there, including like whole milk and things that are going to make it nice and thick and creamy.
Exactly, and that comes with time. This is a dish that needs to be stirred frequently. I don't need
Okay.
to sit here and stir it once I get my milk in, but I definitely don't want to put this and then, you know,
Take off.
go pull up an episode of Young and Restless. No,
Right.
you definitely want to sit here and keep an eye on it and stir it frequently.
Or you can have an episode of City Line on, but it needs to be in front of you.
Keep it close by on the
A lot
tablet
of
or
people have
wherever you
TVs
can.
in their kitchens now. That's the only way you're allowed to watch it and do this recipe.
I see the tablets with recipes on them, which I
They
think is
do
kind of
that.
cool.
They do that.
Very
yeah,
cool.
You can do that.
So once this is toasted off now, it becomes very fragrant. I can see the ghee has now coated these individual grains of rice.
Yes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some whole milk. If you wanted to use dairy-free milk, or if you wanted to use oat milk or something else like that, that's totally fine. So nice
Yeah.
deglazing. That cinnamon stick, everything is now going to steep in there. I can come in with a little bit of saffron as well. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
It's special saffron.
Saffron is not cheap.
No.
But it's one of those things similar to like caviar. If you're
Yeah.
going to use it,
Use it.
go use it.
Go use
or
it.
use a little bit every day. But we don't do it every day, so use a lot.
So it's a special day.
So adding in a good amount, you know, that's probably a couple grams of saffron that goes in.
Yeah.
Once I stir this and it heats up, we essentially create our saffron tea, which means that this will take on that beautiful hue, that beautiful color, and I can already smell what's happening here. So over here I have brown sugar.
Nice.
So I'm going to add in some brown sugar as well, just like that. And this is a sweet rice, so you can add in granulated sugar. I mean, if you're someone like me where I grew up and you want to do like, you know, maple syrup in here, you could. Is it
Yeah.
traditional? by no means is
No.
it. But I also want to encourage people to step outside the box and do unique
Nice.
things with it. So once this all comes to a simmer, we let it go for about 20 to 25 minutes,
Yep.
and it reduces down into this. And I want you to try it.
Okay, I want to
Okay.
try it.
I just
and I
wa-
want you to put some of the, like, just put a few of the garnishes on mine.
So we
would
can
ya?
see now the consistency of it.
Yeah.
The grains were really well toasted.
Nice
and
and
now
thick.
nice and thick. This can be served warm or cold. And what grains would you, what toppings?
I want some of the pistachio. Well, definitely the pecan, but you can do that one next.
And these are garnishes, so
This is
we
where I
don't
get
want to like
bossy.
cover it up completely, okay?
okay,
You said
just a little
pecans
pecan and maybe like a little bit of cashew.
and a little bit of cashew.
Yeah.
I would also be adding raisins into this as well, but I definitely want you to try this and see
Okay.
what you think. And this is your first kheer.
It's my first cure, everybody.
Something I grew up eating, and I just love it so much. There's nothing not to like about it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good in the morning, it's good at lunch, and it's good in bed.
Eat this all day.
All
How much
day.
of this did you actually eat as a kid, do you think?
A lot. My mom would see my spoon in the fridge, in the container, because it's set. She
Bad
would see how
boy.
many spoons I got out of it. Yeah.
It is amazing. It is on our website, cityline.tv. Oh my gosh, Dev, it's